a tweak that I would love you to explore. And you might do this and go, do you know what? I'm fine as I am. And that, of course, is absolutely fine. But this is for you if you are not quite getting the results that you know that you're capable of. And I want you to consider how you are showing up and how you're talking about your business. And there have been different stages of my business, for example, when my kids were tiny, like the first year, I would say, certainly of my son's life, then the first 6 months of my daughter's life, and then, that March 2020 moment happened and everybody's work in our house totally dried up. But I had an online business, so I had to make it work. And I did, and I was grateful for that. So there were those seasons of life where I'd be in my dressing gown and I'd have the baby or not the baby, my baby, our babies. And work was very much a kind of, I was just trying to keep things ticking over. I wasn't launching things. I wasn't trying to disrupt an industry. I wasn't doing anything radical. I was a bit like, if I can just keep things moving in the right direction and doing what I need to do so I can have my focus with these babies. But now my kids are at school and I have much more of a different rhythm, I would say, to my year. I mean, it does feel like this half term has come around really quickly, but that being said, generally Monday to Friday, I work whilst they're at school. And occasionally I will work in an evening or a weekend, but generally I try and keep it in school hours. And the way that I now show up is different to that time because I want to take up more space with my work. I want to earn more money. I want to create more things. I want to impact more people. I want to take on more projects. I want to help more clients. I have more capacity now. And so I'm using my words really carefully here because this is not about saying, right, I've got to get an office in Dubai and have like glass floor to ceiling everywhere. And I can only ever talk about my business if I'm wearing designer clothes. Like I'm not saying that because there are so many different ways to run a business these days. There's a guy that I follow, for example, and he runs his business from his farm. That's how he creates his income, from creating content from the farm. He's often got hay in his hair and looking a bit disheveled. And it would be weird for him to be wearing a suit or looking corporate or polished or setting up the cows in the background. Like it's just not going to work for him. But he will still use words such as a movement or disrupting a industry or I'm on a mission to ... And so when he shows up, for example, there isn't any pocket money energy, like I'm just doing this a bit on the side to earn a bit of extra cash. There's not that. There's purpose, there's integrity, there's strategy, there's consistency. There's that sense that I'm showing up and I'm doing the thing. And if it was a physical store, and I guess it is slightly with a farm, but every single day in his working hours, he's making that commitment to go from closed to open. He's not in a if I feel like it, I'll do those things for my business today. Or if I feel like it, I'll launch that thing. Otherwise, if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. And like I said, I've been doing this for 25 years. There have been seasons where I've literally, my only focus has been to make sure I've got enough money coming in for bills so I'm covered. I haven't been in an expansive space. In fact, I've needed to pull back. When I've lost people in my life, I haven't been going, gosh, let me just build something. I've had no capacity. I've needed to do whatever I've needed to do behind the scenes. But I guess I was sitting with this question of me personally in my business, that if I want all of these things, I know within me that I can absolutely meet these things, do these things, no problem. Absolutely. I'm ready. I'm available. Hire me. But am I showing that? Because people are making fast decisions. They're scrolling, and they're moving and all the rest of it. And I don't want you to waste these opportunities that we have now. And I'm not saying that you have to have a face full of makeup and everything to be polished and perfected and have a 15-person film crew at all times. I'm literally just recording this on a phone. I've got my window open. You'll be able to hear the blind banging and the door banging, and no doubt a siren because I live in North London. But I am here to play. And I am here for more than pocket money. I am here to help a lot of people. I am here to speak to that person that has maybe got to that stage in their life that they know it's time to step things up. And so I want you to take that time today to ask yourself a couple of questions. Firstly, how are you showing up? How have you been showing up? And is that because of the age and stage of life you're in? And if that is in alignment with that, like, just do you. Like, it's that thing. If somebody had told me that I needed to do something when my son was 3 weeks old, I mean, yeah, it took me like 6 weeks for him to get his weight back up. So I was in and out of that clinic every day. I wasn't just being like signed off and off you go. It was a really tricky recovery time. But equally, with my daughter, I found myself like taking kids to soft play. I didn't go in the soft play, but at like week 4, which I would never have contemplated with that. But that being said, if you're not getting the results that you want and you want more, consider how you're showing up. What energy are you bringing? Are you showing truly what you are made of? Your experience, your talents, your expertise, how great you are. Please show it. Don't hold back. I know those mean girls at school might have said, she thinks she's a bit, look at her. Whatever, they're going to say it. There may even be people saying this about me right now, and that's okay. Because that's just life. That's just life and the way that it is sometimes. Not everybody's going to get you. But there are going to be some people that will watch this today and go, do you know what? I've been showing up with pocket money energy and I want 6-figure energy. That's where I'm going. I'm not doing this as like, oh, I just fancied like working on a business 2 hours a week. No, they want more. They want to create impact. They want to have a seat at the table. They want to contribute. They want to make brilliant things happen. If that's you and I can support you, let's do a session on it. Let's see what's happening and come up with some new, renewed energy for your business and where you're going next. Because if you're excited, other people are going to be excited too. Send me a message and I'll send you some more information. Lots of love. Bye.